walk me through yesterday what we've learned in the last 24 hours and whether we really should be concerned about the automakers and what could or couldn't happen with Nafta.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Good morning. I don't know that we've learned a lot in the last 24 hours, but I can tell you that the auto industry is very, very nervous. There's not really a positive way to look at this. Most of what we see in terms of parts supply and quite frankly, vehicle assembly, in the Canada region comes into the U.S. A lot of Mexican production does make its way elsewhere in the world, but there's a huge dependence on the U.S. market as well. So there's not really a positive sort of slice at this point. Look, this time last year, there were a lot of concerns around border tax, and it felt like, the world was very much on edge from that perspective, and it sort of didn't come to fruition. I think there's a hope that some of this discussion is more posturing and that there could be some middle ground that we find and maybe improving NAFTA. But certainly, if, to the degree that this stays on the table, it's going to be difficult for auto stocks to do anything but continue to fall.
But James, if you take an issue like steel, let's just look at steel, for instance. Downstream in the United States, the consumers of steel, the automakers, for instance, that's a much bigger slice of the U.S. economy than upstream, the production of steel. So surely just common sense will prevail. The economics of the argument will prevail, will they not?
That's our hope. I mean, it's hard to probability weight, though, at this point, and I think that's part and parcel to the way that this administration likes to operate. And so I don't know that sitting here and giving you a probability weighting of whether or not there's an improvement to NAFTA or a sort of repeal of NAFTA makes sense at this point. I think, auto manufacturers are rightfully, lobbying very hard to make sure that, that they're considered here and the American consumer, quite frankly, is considered here because prices are already at a very, very high level. And this would just add upward pressure to an already, extremely inflationary environment.